I literally am not even going to say anything. So we're going to be doing trial part 4. Oh,
we're only going to be reading out things.
Yep. Part 4-3 trial.
Okay,
let's go. Yes. You get to be the first thing that happens today.
Ow.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to cry.
I just hit
I'm
my
already
leg
ready to
against
cry.
the book.
Don't hurt yourself.
This happened near my birthday.
Yeah. It's going to happen next year. Now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce the results of the tests we had performed earlier. Tests? Yes, tests. On Bloody Dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree. Oh yeah, that! I totally forgot about it. That's the weapon that Maya Fey used and she fought the victim. Fought, quote unquote.
Quote unquote, not true.
So when you go to read the testimony, you can look over here if you need to read it.
I don't have to.
You don't have to, but if you can't, read over here. So what are the results? Was it the victim's blood, or... Due to time constraints, a full test was impossible. However, there's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on this dagger was not the victim's blood. Dun dun dun! Dun dun dun. That is all. Now then, let's restart the trial. So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. You're really close. Sorry. Then whose was it? I'm sure both the defense and the prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Because I have a different setup today. I understand, Your Honor. From what I've heard, agreed. Who's watching? I don't know, but I don't care. Very well, please bring in the last witness. There she is. Witness, please tell us your name and profession.
Maya Fey. My profession is, I'm the assistant manager of Rent and Co Law.
Maya, according to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium of the curing channeling technique.
I'm frightened. The fake Glenn, I don't want any more to do with it.
Oh, Maya, the pain the Fey bloodline causes must be unbearable. Very well. Smack. You're fucking... Ow! There is something in my eye! Now then, Miss Fey, when the event occurred, you were in the garden of the inner temple. And you witnessed the moment of Ms. Elise Stonham's murder. Is this correct?
I didn't see
anything. Straighten up this moment, young lady.
Huh?
Be nice to her! Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later. Your mother was killed right in front of you. I can't speak. Your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. You big fat meanie. But there's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witnesses come out, and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony.
On the night...
Nope, that's me.
Sorry.
Still. Blah, blah, blah. That's me, you dum-dum. She just hit me.
Just read it now.
Hang on.
Forget I did anything.
I made myself dizzy. Give me a second. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen? Witness, if you please.
Yes. I was passing through the garden on the way to spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me!" And something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness.
Consciousness?
Consciousness.
Yeah, that's not how you say that.
I can't speak. Consciousness.
So you were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been the staff. Maya, the person who hit you. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it?
I'm sorry.
Think hard.
Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't.
Stop acting so sad.
Sorry, I have to.
Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone. It seems that it will be hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination. Maya, hang in there. Oh yeah, my penalty. Whoops!
Remember the recess? I still have it.
You really recessed during your recess though. Oh well.
Recess.
Ow!
It was a very short recess.
Whatever! Okay, we got a 2, 3, 4.
Press.
Bink.
Hold it.
You think you screamed, but you're not sure?
Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, an adult, a child? I had no idea. I was scared out of my...
Believe me, my dear, I'm certain I would have soiled my robes.
I thought this person might attack me, so I... Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that it was my last hope. I'm having struggles reading.
Don't force the voice out, you know?
Oh my god, look. Someone's watching again.
We're
Hi!
probably gonna leave in like 2 seconds. Wow, it sounds like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. But I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do I do? Do I press her for more details? Yeah, we're gonna ask her about her last hope. Now, wait a minute.
What do you mean by your last hope?
No, that's what you said. You dum-dum. I'm grabbing a pillow, sorry. Right? You screamed, "Help me!"
Yeah.
But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope.
Happens.
Maya's not doing so well up there.
Oh, yeah, Oh, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at.
What did you just say?
Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming to for help.
But what is it now?
I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out.
Huh? Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker, there was another person?
I am, well, I meant to keep that part a secret.
Keep it positive, come on.
Sorry. What have I done?
Pay attention to the sprites. Ha! It takes a ton of pressure to make it die. You're in a court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber. Witness, the information you just presented is vital to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony. Read that.
I could see a man behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern.
So there was a man standing behind your attacker?
Yeah.
That man, he's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed 𝙬╗𝘍𝙗, otherwise known as Misty Faye, your mother.
The killer!
Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you? But what is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? To be frank, Your Honor, I think she's in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony.
What do you mean, what problem?
Maya, on the night of the crime, that stone lantern was out of commission.
Huh? What? I should have said it. Sorry.
What? It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night.
No!
Dun dun dun. Order in the court. Mr. 𝙁𝙁, explain this. We're not counting.
I know, but there's still one.
Add the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee. Stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of cafe au latte. I don't even know how to say that. I'm not even gonna try. I give up.
Cafe au latte. Cafeola.
Well, it's cafe au lait, but you know, I don't speak foreign. Cafe au lait? Is that even legal? Mr. Trait's words are the milk and you are the spoon, Your Honor. I'm a spoon? I'm no spoony, but I'll have you know. Spoon! You must have noticed it too, Trait. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that.
I'm okay.
Sorry, but that's not going to cut it. What did you say? If there truly was wrong, then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony.
Nick!
May I, a man or woman, an adult or a child? And yet, the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker, and she quite clearly described him as a man. Hang on. I don't know if it's working at all.
It is.
I don't know. It's gonna cut a whole ton out though. I'm gonna. So I have no idea if it's working.
If it's not, what are we gonna do?
We'll just wait for it to work.
I'm okay.
Put this on mute. Is it working? It's probably just really low quality.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay, it's working. We're gonna go past here. Oh, no, it's not live. In other words, that would have to mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person.
It's lagging, that's what it is.
That's whatever. Despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of the attack in front of her. No! No! Sorry. Order. What in the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying Miss Faye saw the real killer under pitch black conditions? Trite, do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? I don't know. Do you know? There was no other light source at the scene. Hello. That's... Sorry. That's like the fifth time I've thrown my stylus at that man today.
Someone else is watching. Can we go see?
No, I can't see who's watching because it doesn't show me. Hello, Shadow. Can you go shut the door? Hi, babies. I had never realized how this man actually acts, because to be fair, I haven't read any of his lines out before. Like, I would read them in my head and I wouldn't completely comprehend it, but reading it out loud helps me comprehend it better.
What? Who?
Go to
Roleplay him or something or something?
I kind of already am. One of my Nintendogs has this.
You need help. I need help.
Yes. Anyways, there are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godo. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark. And now, for the man that killed her mother, there's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is. I apologize for the quality of the stream, people. I can't help that, but, you know, frickin' thing sucks.
Please. Nick.
No.
I don't know anything. Please. I'm begging you.
Ha! You talk a good game, Trite. But let's see if you can walk the walk.
It's lagging because...
It was pitch black. So what could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff.
No, Nick! Don't! Please, stop!
Maya is dead set on protecting this guy. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth.
How did he break the fourth wall?
I'm working on it! because it was pitch black, Miss Faye was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes? What? But how do you propose to show us something like that? It's easy. You just need to recreate the condition of that night. Conditions? Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off. I almost said shut off. Same difference, but... What? This is... But it can't be. Ha. Hey. Frickin'... hello? There's 2 people here. That's the most people that's been here in a while. Oh! Well, everyone? There's 1 person now. This is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder. This thing needs to go away. This is making it really bad.
It's not going to.
It'll go away eventually, but not now. Order! Prosecutor 𝙁𝙁, what is the meaning of this? Surely you must be shocked to hear Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it? Ha! Your Honor, I'm asking the wrong person. What do you mean by that? If you've got a question, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night? Was it 3 glowing red lights? Well, witness, answer the question.
You're wrong. I never saw that.
Maya!
I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man. For a totally different reason.
Oh boy. What? Witness, Mr. Wright, what the... Stop your chattering, Your Honor. Chattering? If it's worth asking, ask a witness. It's one of my rules. Alright.
It's so laggy.
It's gonna be a little behind. But there. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man. Go.
Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but... When I came to, I was just lying there on the floor in the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed.
Easier?
The torches were lit, and the body was gone. And all of the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. Since the person did all the work alone, I just assumed it was a man.
Assume. I mean,
The person
I mean, she's right, but
still.
Oops, spoilers.
You'll find out later, people. Wait, person.
Person, people, whatever. But one person's gonna be watching this at a time, I'm sure, at some point. You don't know that. So it was... Ow, why is my ankle trying to pull? Okay, that hurt. So it was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man.
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No need to apologize. It's as Mr. 𝙁𝙁 said. You're utterly exhausted. It's only natural that you would be a little confused. Also, if you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the criminal is a man. Mr. Wright, proceed with your examination. Can I show you the bottom? Look at that. Frickin' bats. Just kidding. 1, 2, 3. Press. The torches were lit. Ow. Can you, like, not put your elbow there? Pulling my hair.
Yes, that's how I managed. I noticed the whole
That's
scene
how
had changed.
I'm gonna say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be? The killer probably lit them since it'd be impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. However, if that's true, there's one more thing. There's one thing that still bothers me. Why did the killer go to the effort of moving the body? That's true. It's hard to see how that would be of any advantage to the killer. The only one who would gain anything from that would be the only person that was at the inner temple, Maya. Very well. Let me hear some more about the condition of the crime scene. I gotta press here too.
Yep.
So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow? It did look really odd. The snow was removed in an unnatural looking rectangular shape around the lantern.
There were a lot of shovels around the inner temple.
If you can't read it from here, read it down here.
But they were all really heavy, way too heavy for me to use.
An odd fellow indeed, this killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take snow away? Well, there's one thing I can think of. Didn't you say that a lot of the victims' blood sprayed onto the snow?
Yeah! The area I collapsed in ended up being splattered.
In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation. Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. If the killer just wanted to hide the snow with blood on it, there was no need to remove that amount. That's true. He could have scooped up just the snow that was stained with blood. But he couldn't! Because of reasons. I'm sorry. It looks like there are some mysteries behind this issue. But! You go ahead.
But I think this will help explain them. I can't. I'm tired.
No, 3, 2. I got to the press this. Don't push it. Don't push yourself. If you need to go quieter, but don't.
No, I mean, I just can't breathe right.
No, okay, I'll let you break. I'll take over for her for a little while. Actually, why don't you go turn my AC up so like more airflow comes around in here?
Okay.
Go do that. Because I'm having a little bit of trouble too.
Okay.
Naturally, the killer must have done it, right? Yes, I think so. But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide. The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something. You did? Yes, I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence for me, for my sake. What? Hiding it for you? Everyone knew that I was the only one at the inner temple that night. If Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden, she may have thought that you had done it. No, she definitely would have thought so. And you're saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened? Yes, I'm sure of it. Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. I think it was for my sake that the killer cleaned up the evidence of what had happened. The body of 𝙬╗ was carried all the way to 𝙎𝙬𝘃 Temple's courtyard. Then at the garden, the real scene of the crime. The snow that we suspect was covered in blood, was scooped up and removed. It's reasonable to believe all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that still seems somewhat odd. Oh, and what would that be? You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Goto. It's the message written in blood on the lantern. It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya. Ah! If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't he wipe the writing off the lantern? Ah! You're right! Dun dun dun. Blah, blah, blah. Order! But Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene? Indeed, but it doesn't make much sense to move the body and remove the bloody snow. Then wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing. To keep it centered and stuff. And of course it's a little bit... Okay, that's better. Snowy, can you put this case away? Then not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing. But if that's the case, do you have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Why would this killer move the body and remove all that snow, but then leave the bloody writing on the lantern? Boy, I don't know what the killer's plan was, but it's a fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it. Shut up. Did you put the case away? Yes. Okay. Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why did the killer leave the message written in blood on the lantern? Because the killer didn't notice it. Prosecutor Goto, earlier in this trial, you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought. Hey now! The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that a crime occurred there. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it. But that doesn't make any sense. The torches were all lit and everything. There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that. You're right. There is no way any normal person would. What? What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright? There's only one person involved in this incident. Who could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether? And who would that be? Who was the person that could have failed to notice the bloody writing? How about, you know... Mr. Goto, this is what you said yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. I've memorized that quote at this point. I didn't even know. You can't see everything. Is that correct, Mr. Goto? This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented. This lantern? There's something written on it. Why? It's written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern is as clean as a whistle. Mr. Goto, just admit it. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? You can't see red on a white background, can you? That's right. We went through this once before, during the poisoning case at Tribulations. This is the apron that a lifeless bird was wearing at the time, and somehow spilled coffee on. There's something I'm still not bothering me, Mr. Goto. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court? Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be? Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron! That's ridiculous! No one told me anything about a bloodstain. You could see the coffee on the white apron, but you couldn't see the ketchup, because it was red. Ha! It's strange. In a black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one who can't see them? So then, Mr. Goto, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you couldn't see the red writing on the lantern? Red writing on the lantern. Did I say red writing? Whoops. Whoopsies!
What did you do that?
It slipped off my tongue wrong. Leave me alone or I'll throw this pillow at your face. Hey, Gramps, didn't you know? That's the reason why I don't drink red tea. Boy! I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Goto is the murderer, but there's no going back now. I finally figured out the truth. Help me! Mr. Goto, the defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of Ms. 𝙬𝙁, also known as Ms. Misty Faye. It's hard to believe this may be true. However, once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you. Ha! Just make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on. How did a little graffiti make me into the killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name that's written there. I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red. This is rich. Do go on, right? The answer is right there at the crime scene. In the snow. The snow? How so? Well, for example, why did the killer move all that snow? Your Honor, you said it yourself. If they wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not just take out that area? Yes, why didn't they take just out the area? Ah! Could it be? Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that had seeped into the snow. And so he had to remove all of the snow. He couldn't be sure of where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area. Is it even likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark? No. Not a chance. The torches were all lit. They would have been all able to see fine. It seems that once again this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. 𝙁𝙁? Hold it! Well, wait! Just wait a minute! Maya! What is it, witness? Mr. 𝙁𝙁, is it the killer? After all, he didn't even come to the inner temple until 2 days after the murder's place. He didn't show up until after that old bridge got fixed up. Maya. You can't testify to something like that. Why? What do you mean? I may not look it, but I'm... Eek! After the murder happened, you didn't even exist. She didn't? I'm afraid I don't follow. Are you senile, old man? We established this just a little while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, that's right. Please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me. Maya, do you plan to cover for 𝙁𝙁 no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we're going to hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her. Ha! Nicely done, Trite. Very well, let's hear the witness's testimony. Please tell us what happened at the inner temple after the murder. Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began channeling and my spirit left me, as it were. But that little girl was there at the inner temple, too. Pearlie was also stuck on the inner temple side that night. The next morning, she looked around, but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. 𝙁𝙁 arrived at the inner temple for the first time. He found Pearlie first and cheered her right up. Who is this Pearlie? That's my little cousin, Pearl Faye. So when did you hear about this? Oh, just a while ago when I was in the medical office. I'm terribly sorry, but what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. What? Come on! Pearlie would never tell a lie. She's a way more honest person than I'll ever be. Real smart, Maya. You always know the best things to say when you're under oath. Ha! The prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness. Mr. 𝙁𝙁, let's just move on to the cross-examination if the defense has no objections. This is highly unusual, but, well, Mr. Wright, let's get this cross-examination started. Oh no! Listen, you need to get down here now!
Why?
I'm reading ahead, and I'm gonna cry. Get down here!
Why?
Yes!
Why?
Just get down here!
Why do you need me down here?
Just come down here and read the freaking thing. Ugh.
I don't want to.
This thing.
Me too.
Yes, you do!
I know what happens!
Still, you need to see that it's coming up! Sorry for me yelling. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What are you talking about?
Ow! Whoa. I went too fast.
Screams.
He cheered her up. That's what Pearlie said. She said he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. 𝙁𝙁. Oh boy. And here I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict. Ha! Cut it out. You're making me blush. This guy's really beginning to get on my nerves in more ways than one. The truth is, there aren't many places to look on the inner temple side. The policemen were all busy going over the garden with fine-tooth combs. So I decided to carry out an investigation in my own way. 𝙁𝙁 style.
You said 𝙁𝙁, not 𝙁𝙁.
Shut up! I can say however I want. I'm the same way. I like to hand down verdicts in my own way. Judge style. Maybe I should ask some questions, Phoenix style.
I'm confused.
I'm confused too. I didn't even notice it the first time. You said that you conducted an investigation of your own. Did you find anything? Or even when you played it the first time?
What?
It's some. I don't even know. After all, I did miss a bloody writing on lantern. I missed what he said before, and I'm so sorry, guys. I accidentally touched it with thing. Well, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles.
Goggles.
Goggles. The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall. The beauty. Misty Faye, naturally. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Western tastes. How do you find a stranger way to describe gravy?
I was confused on who was talking.
So from there you headed for the prep room? Wait a sec. What did Godo say just now? I think I just found his proverbial weak spot! There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Godo when the murder was taking place? He must have already been at the inner temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed 𝙬𝙁𝙁𝙁. A fourth statement. 1, 2, 3, 4. Present the hanging scroll. Bah! What? No. Not right now. Just keep it down here. Mr. Godo, the first time you crossed the ski bridge, you went into the inner temple. It was long before the murder took place. Why do you say that? Because he just made one fatal slip-up. The hanging scroll in the training hall. Hanging scroll? But Mr. Godo is right. The scroll shows a picture of my mother. Maya, I know you know who it is, but here's something you didn't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired, 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this. What's that wonderfully delicious smell? The morning after the crime, someone covered it with gravy. Gravy? But why gravy, Nick? Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Godo, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder, you wouldn't have had any way of knowing that it was Misty Faye. But wait a minute, Nick! Yes? Take another look at the hanging scroll. Look, at the top. There's a crest there. Ah, that. It's the mark of the master, correct? Exactly! So if you know the meaning of the mark, then you could guess that it was a picture of Misty Faye on there. True, but... Well, wrong person. True, but Mr. Godo described what was underneath like this. Had her stunning Japanese garb surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Oh. Yes, it's possible that he knew what the quest meant. Yep, that's English, what the crest meant. However, he couldn't have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. Mr. Godo, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the inner temple long before the crime took place. Oh, I think I know who the one viewer is. Me. Because I have it open on the other tab.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's me.
No, it's not.
It hasn't gone away. I don't know. Whatever.
If you close it out, it doesn't go away.
It might. We don't know that. Can I ask you just one little thing? What is it? This whole theory of yours, it all rests on a certain assumption. That I knew beforehand the crime was going to be committed. That's right! Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak onto the crime scene. Of course Mr. Godo knew about the plan. Huh? What did you say? What? What? Oh, give me one. So that another person knew the plan. Gonna go ahead and present the. Not that. That's gonna get me a penalty. Burnt letter. Go. That's way too many. Take out like 7.
7?
Yeah, there's like 9 there. This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Morgan Faye authored the plan for her. Even so, there's like 2 left. Morgan Faye authored the plan for her daughter's future.
I had more than 2.
I do about 2. Hang on, guys. She gave me gum, so, you know.
You can't view your own live stream?
Yeah, you can.
Really?
And these instructions were hidden somewhere in Faye Manor for a year. However, by the time Little Pearls found these instructions, they had already been unsealed. Unsealed?
It's like lagging.
Yes, the killer had read these instructions long before Pearls ever found them. That's how he knew the crime was to take place at the inner temple. And you're saying this crafty killer is me? You bet I am. But you just said that the instructions were hidden. But that's right! Mr. 𝙁𝙁 couldn't have known the instructions were hidden.
No.
If he really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out. Yes, and when was that? During a visit. A visit? Morgan Fay told her daughter, Pearl, about where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden. Eavesdropping on a visit to the detention center. Yes, it could be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Like, for example, a prosecutor such as Mr. 𝙁𝙁. We got it, boys! Just kidding.
Not yet.
Nyeh.
Not yet.
I know. Order, order, order.
Soon as Steam will be playing.
Mr. 𝙁𝙁, you're under fire again. You mean, whatever. This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge. And you were the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder. Yeah, but if you think about it, he wasn't really, well, but wasn't he schooling here before this? Yeah, how's that work? I don't know. Humans are afraid of the dark, and yet, at the same time, we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness that is coffee. You're weird. I don't speak Coffeenese. Sorry for always asking, but what does that mean? Oh, everybody's gone now. Never mind, it's not me. 𝙬𝙁 is a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer in this case eavesdropped on a conversation during a jail visit where he learned of a hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the inner temple and waited for the crime to occur.
Back.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Who knows?
I don't know. Then he ultimately took a person's life. And he did all of that just to protect this witness? That's right. If you're accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl is nothing but a stranger to me. Oh, that's where you're wrong, mister.
Wrong, you.
That's where you're wrong. Anyway, I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her. I am what you see. I am certainly not the type to rescue the damsel in distress. The killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word. Even considering that the killer wanted to protect this witness's life, his behavior is still a little too unnatural. However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. 𝙁𝙁? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs. I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick?
Haven't you?
Maya, I guess you were doing your best to cover for 𝙁𝙁. For the same reason, huh? For the same reason, huh? My bad.
Wrong voice.
Nope, I read it wrong, that's all. Okay, Trey, I'm all ears. Let's hear it. It's very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you. But what's this? There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. One person that ties you and Maya Fey together inextricably. Take that! Don't kill me!
You're screaming.
There's a very good reason why Maya Fey's life is so precious to you. After all, she is Mia Fey's only sister. Mia Fey.
Just go here.
Don't do anything yet!
Okay.
Don't touch anything yet. You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney. Wait a second here! Mr. 𝙁𝙁 is a defense attorney? Is a defense attorney? With your honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself 𝙁𝙁. His real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right? I'm okay. The last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago. Diego Armando, that name rings a bell. It should, Your Honor. All of this is related to a single case. Ah! Don't scream! Please don't scream. I don't need to mark this one as loud too. A case in which a convict named Harry Falls killed himself. Mia Fey's first time in court, the tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She's so pretty. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. This is the quote at the end of Him for the Missing. Diego Armando, a senior defense lawyer at the office where Mia worked. It's my fault! It's all my fault that Mr. Foles killed himself! Mia, you can't cry yet. Crush! Crush! The only time I'll ever cry is when it's all over. Too late! I'm already crying! No, I got this.
You're the one being loud.
Shut up! I can be loud if I wanna.
But then you're gonna have to put warning loud.
Okay. I was moved by her. The way she put all her faith in her clients. That pure, sweet heart of hers. That's why I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. Mia and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. And one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria. Ah, I just remembered. 6 years ago, right here in this courthouse, you were poisoned. Even I didn't see it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee. Some newspapers at the time called it a murder. But very little information about the case was released to the press.
Priest?
Yeah, the priest, and I almost swallowed that piece of gum. It almost flew down my throat. Nice. But you weren't dead at all. No official reports ever actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep, deep coma. I see. My body shut down and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight, and all of my hair turned white due to the damage it caused.
What?
You didn't just hear that?
Hair turned white because of that?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes!
Okay.
And me. That's terrible. Apparently, it was a miracle that I ever regained consciousness. 5 years had passed since I drank that poison brew. 5 tragic years. Then one morning, my eyes flew open from the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee. For 5 years? You were asleep for 5 years? That's called a coma! And the worst possible news was waiting for me. Mia Fey was dead. From the very moment I opened my eyes. I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered, and the woman I loathed had been sentenced to death.
No crying yet.
You're right, I can do this. I'm up, we're good!
You need to hug that blanket. The pillow does.
Blanket? It's a pillow, you doofus! The woman you loathe? The woman who had the woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee. Dahlia Hawthorne. Dun dun dun. Ha! Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. Pardon me. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up. That's so sad. For someone like me, for someone who had slept away their best days, there were only 2 reasons left to live. And it was for those 2 reasons that I decided to become a prosecutor. If I may ask, what were your two reasons to live? The first was you, Trite. Huh? Me? If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia Fey never would have died, much less the way she did. And here's the bitter taste of truth. I'm gonna cry now, but I can't because the only time I'll ever cry is when it's all over, and it's not over yet! We're not done here! Ow! Yep, that'll keep me awake. Okay.
Do that like every 10 minutes.
Ow! Okay, yep, can't do that. That hurt. Actually, that actually felt kind of good. Nope, wait, that hurt. That hurt again. Well, let's not do that anymore. I think I'm making my knee really red. She's like, no, don't do that. You were the only one that was there to protect her, but you let her die. It was all your fault. It wasn't like that. I wanted to see for myself what kind of a man you really were. So that's why you became a prosecutor? My other reason for living, she goes by the name of Mia Fey. Huh? You mean me? You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. Now, 1 year ago, when the Clearing Village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Fey was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about her. That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center. Detention center. I knew that the time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. I thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from getting caught up in it. That makes sense. If Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she never would have helped out. Finally, the day the plan was drawing near, I contacted both of my accomplices. Iris of 𝙎𝙬𝘼 Temple and Misty Faye. I especially needed the help of Iris. She was to take the fall on my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Faye. But! How did you contact my mother? She'd been missing for almost 20 years. Officially, yes. What? What do you mean, officially? You've heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government. Now that you mention it, Bikini did say something to that effect. She said that the Master Curator had a great authority. Even without her official position, Misty Faye still wielded great influence. The police have been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor. So my mother was cooperating with you? Don't ever forget, no matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you. She was always... That's why I knew she would do anything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve to protect you was, look at her staff. Her staff, the one with the sword in it, the day the plan was to be carried out, arrived soon enough. We met for the first time at 𝙎𝙬𝘼 Temple. That's when your mother showed me her special staff. I realized it then, just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Faye if necessary. Yes, even if it meant paying the ultimate price. But Mother...
Don't fall off.
Too late!
I meant don't actually fall.
The night of the crime. Don't die on me. We don't need anybody else dying.
I'm okay.
There was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan. You mean Pearls, don't you? We had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne.
You didn't?
Well, Pearl, what are you going to do tonight? Well, if you'd like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together. We thought we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan, but she never showed up. She was worried and followed me to the inner temple. That was the thing we were most afraid of. And that's why Misty Faye had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body. What? What do you mean? She channeled the spirit first, and Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself. As Master of Curain, Misty Faye's power was supreme, so that's how it went down. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Faye wouldn't be able to. Ah! What? What you just did with your gum. It was like attached to your teeth. It was weird. Don't do it again. No, don't do it.
It's not attached to my teeth at all.
I know, it's still weird. What? Is this true? My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Faye. That's why I hid myself at the inner temple, just in case she needed to be saved from Dahlia Hawthorne. 𝙁𝙁𝘼. Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to. Trite. Huh? There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense lawyer, but you're going to have to do the rest yourself.
All by himself.
He was by himself this entire part. Background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? There are only two possible suspects right now. Maya Faye, and I'm sad to say, you, Mr. 𝙁𝙁𝘼. Well, Trite, If you're the real deal, then finish this thing once and for all. Show us beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own. No, Nick! Please don't! Maya, I heard the whole thing from my sister in the medical office. That's why I had to protect Mr. Goto. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia. And me, too. It won't stay on the live broadcast. Maya, I know that. Nick. But even so, it doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify. Ms. Faye, your testimony, please. This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything, because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips. I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick.
I hope everyone's excited when they get to watch this.
No. Only if it's Nintendogs do I get actually enough people. Yeah. That's how sad it is.
Just like...
Alright, young lady, tell us the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder? Oh boy, here we go! The intense part. Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them. Duh. I thought I'd ask for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly, the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, 𝙬╗𝘿𝑝sed collapsed and I lost consciousness.
Wanna fall over now?
Nope, I'm good. Come over here.
I wanna sit with you.
Why?
This is blowing on me.
You're hogging the air from me.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. I mean, I can kind of feel it if I turn my head this way. Otherwise, I can't feel it. Get up, Phelps, chariot. These red lights. I thought you said you don't remember seeing them. I'm sorry. I thought I saw them, but then they disappeared all of a sudden. Ha! Things break. That's right. Even the best theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Faye? It looks like you still can't prove it. I was telling the truth this time. I know it. The rest is up to me.
She isn't. What is she?
Well then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your final cross-examination to the witness. You should throw something, so I threw the thing at you. One, two, three, four, five.
Press.
What do you mean by just at that moment? Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out? Yes, that's right. The scream that you heard then, was it Dahlia Hawthorne? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was a man's voice. What? What? So then, the scream came from the killer? That's gotta be it.
Triggered.
I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it. And then the killer let out a scream of pain, huh? After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems to make sense to me. It sounds like a reasonable deduction, but I still kind of wonder. There's contradiction. I'm sorry to say this, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction. That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct. Remember the testimony she just gave. Before the killer let out a scream, Maya said that she had already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade and the staff had already been plunged into the victim. Ah! Is that right? She couldn't have struck back with a sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff. The dagger.
You're ready?
No. Yes. I don't know.
Don't cry.
I got this. I'm literally hurting myself. I'm literally punching whatever, literally pushing whatever my nails I have, which I have none of, into my palm, and that's very uncomfortable. If you're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer, try. There's only one thing I can think of that could have been used as a weapon here. If Dahlia Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff, what could she have used to strike back at the killer? Not that, the dagger. Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime. Oh, that's right, I forgot about that. This dagger was found at the crime scene, stuck into a pine tree. Yes, the detective found that this morning and brought it to me. Dahlia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this, and she managed to wound him as well. Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. For all we know, the blood on the dagger could have been from the victim. Have you forgotten that the blood has already been tested? Since we learned it wasn't the victim's blood, it must be the killer's blood. The killer must have a wound somewhere on his body. Hello? I can literally make the mask with my hands. So you're saying
Can he actually see through that?
he's supposed to.
I think it's possible to see through.
He can't see without it. That's the problem. He can't see anything without his mask on. And even with his mask on, he can't see red on white.
It's just weird.
No, it's coincidental because you know the person who killed killed Mia was red white.
I get their puns.
No, it's just ironic. Okay. So you're saying the blood on this dagger belongs to the killer? Exactly! A DNA analysis of the blood would prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Goto, it would prove that it's your blood. Nice theory, right? I don't have my glasses on right now and I can barely see anything, so... I mean, I can see and
Put them back on.
I'm cleaning them. I can see and I can read it okay, but I apologize I'm a little slow because I can't see. I can only see so much. Because I have a far-sighted eye and a near-sighted eye, and they do not go well together because when they're together, they're just blurred. Okay. Order in the court. Is this the end? Have I done it? Not yet, buddy. Even he won't be able to change the results of the
You
scientific
called him
test.
buddy.
Well, yeah. Ha! Let me ask you something, Trite. Let's just say that it turned out that I was the killer. Do you really think I would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that? Yes. No. Maybe. No, I don't know. Don't ask me questions like that.
You have to put on your thing.
I know, I see it. What? Just think for a second. You want? If there's any more Maya lines, will you do them?
What?
If there's any more Maya lines, will you do them?
Sure.
Just think for a second, because I think there are. Pretty sure there are.
A few, but not that many.
Yeah. So, Snowy's back to doing Maya.
Yeah. Ow.
She is the Maya to my Mia. A. This dagger was found this morning by... Thanks for interrupting! This dagger was found this morning by a detective and brought to me. There was already a blood stain on it, correct? But even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtroom. Yes, what does that prove? Well, if I really were the killer, I could have washed the blade off and implanted another person's blood on it. It can't be. In any case, there's one thing I can guarantee, right? That blood, it doesn't belong to me.
Does it?
Not a chance. What? Oh, boo-hoo.
Is he lying?
In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded. Alright then, witness, continue your testimony. Well, wait a minute! Here, I'll do this one, you can do the rest of it. What's the problem?
I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation.
Explanation.
I can't speak, sorry.
Explanation. Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
Maya!
This dagger, you said it wounded the killer.
That's right.
But Mr. Goto had really been cut with the dagger. His clothes should be out here have her ripping them, right?
But that's the thing. Maya. Maybe he just changed his clothes? That solved this contradiction pretty easily.
What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all. Remember back at the day of the murder? I remember that was on the inner temple side got trapped there.
Ah, that's right. And once the bridge was fixed and the police headed for the inner temple, Mr. Godo was already waiting for them. You do it.
Mr. Godo was already there waiting for them. He never had a chance to change his clothes. You know what happened to him. Actually, we know exactly why.
Order. I missed it. Whatever.
It's fine.
You guys saw it. Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him? But no one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone brought a change of clothes? Did the judge take smart pills during the last recess? Well then, maybe the killer took off his clothes before he committed the murder. That way he wouldn't get any blood on him. That's impossible, Trey. That's exactly what I was about to say. You know how cold it gets up there late at night. And after a few minutes with no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid. That's a picture I don't want to see, by the way. Thanks for implanting that in my brain, game. Can you finish the song for me? Thank you. Ha! So that's all you've got? I knew you weren't tough enough to finish this. Okay, we're good. Ugh. Right now, if 𝙭were here, she would have closed the book on this case already. If 𝙭 were here. So come on, try. Can you do it or not? How about it, Mr. Right? You've accused Mr. Godo of being the killer. Can you prove it? Have you got even one piece of evidence?
Yes, we do.
The question isn't whether I can prove it or not. Yeah. The fact is I have to prove it. That's the only choice I have. I was taught that it's one of the rules of being a lawyer. I can prove it. I'm going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition, just as you want it. Ha! That's good. A fighter till the bitter end, right? Since there's just one piece of evidence that can prove your point, why don't we go for the unlimited penalty? Frick, I'm gonna save, just in case I mess this up.
You won't.
Shut up. I might mess it up. You don't know that.
Don't.
I'm going to. I save. Okay, let's go back in now. Why don't we go for the unlimited penalty? Are you trying to pressure me, Mr. Godo? Because it doesn't matter to me. I got the one piece of evidence I need. Give me a break. You've got nothing, Trey. So what do I do at a time like this? It's simple. I've got to think outside the box and approach this from a different angle. All right then, Mr. Wright, let's hear what you've got. There's one thing I've demonstrated in that previous cross-examination. The killer was wounded. That was proven by the blood on the dagger. But we decided it was impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. If he had been cut by a dagger, there should have been a blood stain on his clothing. Oh, but that's where you're wrong. There's one place the killer could have hidden his wound. What did you say?
Hidden?
This is it. My last stand. I need to think about this from a different angle. I don't need to think about why there were no bloodstains on his clothing. I need to show how he hid his wound. It's the end of the line. The final stop, Troy. Let's hear what you've got. Where is this location where you said the killer hid his wound? Ha! I don't know what you're talking about. And frankly, I don't need to know. What I do know is that you'll never be half the lawyer she was. Isn't that right, Trite? What was that just now? Mia? It can't be. You're living on. Through him? Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wound. Ready? Yeah! It's beneath your mask! During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask went flying off your face. Mr. Godo, would you mind removing your mask? If you have a dagger wound under there somewhere, then I'd say this whole case is solved.
He won't remove it because he can't.
Ah! His mask blew up. Boom!
He's okay though.
Yeah, he's fine. Other than the fact that he's mentally scarred for life now. Just like me after I played this case for the first time. Him and freaking Mia ruined so many songs for me. Like their story and everything. Just ruined it. Just now, I saw her spirit in you. I never liked you. 6 years ago, you helped the woman who put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison. And then, while I was sleeping, you let Mia die.
He didn't know, okay?
Shut up. You didn't know. But, not really. But, you didn't care. You just kept living your pathetic, happy-go-lucky life. You even had the nerve to follow in her footsteps as a lawyer. I could never forgive you. That's what I thought.
Mr. 𝙁𝙁.
But, I was wrong about you. I knew it from the very beginning. The truth is, the only person I could never find it in my heart to forgive was me. You, yourself. I was the one that failed to protect Mia. Me and no one else. I tried to avert my eyes from the truth, to escape from the harshness of reality. I just couldn't face Mia's death head on, so I ran. I hid behind a mask. I threw away my true name. I couldn't even deal with being a defense attorney anymore, so I quit. But, you saved Maya. Yeah, that was my plan. Up until just now, anyway.
What do you mean?
Are you listening, Maya? If I really wanted to save you, then there is one person that I should have gone and talked to right away.
Who would that be? Are you talking about Nick?
But I didn't do it. I tried to get the help of Iris and your mother, but I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. Do you know why? The real reason?
No. Why?
I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all.
Huh?
I think I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. I was trying to make up for the fact that I couldn't save Mia. Nothing more. That's me. That's why I let you walk right into a situation that I knew was dangerous. Forgive me. You're wrong! You put your life on the line to save Maya. Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I'm not really sure. What do you mean by that? That night, in the darkness of the garden, when I saw her silhouette, a part of me must have known the truth. The truth that it wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne standing there in front of me. It could have been Misty, Faye, or even the little girl. But I still picked up the blade. It was like I was dreaming. Pardon me. I'm not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by the pure desire to protect Maya Faye? Or was it something else? Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years earlier? Could it have been simply a desire for revenge? And now, I don't know anything anymore. What did my voice just hecking do? I did learn something today, however. I finally realized that I was the arrogant one. I was just chasing an illusion, a fantasy. A stupid fantasy of defeating you in the courtroom. You were the one who made me realize my folly. You never ran away from Mia's death. Instead, you picked up where she left off, as a true defender of the people. In that one moment, I understood everything. I flee to a memory. Okay, it's enough. Mr. 𝙁𝙁. I think you already know this, but if you don't, my name is Diego Armando.
Mr. Armando, I believe in you. I know you were trying to save me.
My voice did something weird.
Ah! I'm sorry! Thanks. Your wound, it's bleeding. Ha! Did you forget already? In my world, the color red doesn't exist. These must be my tears.
I'm sad now.
Tears? Yeah, I know! Ever since I woke up from my coma, I think I've been waiting for this very moment.
Mr. Armando.
You do well to remember this, Maya. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over.
And he did. And he did.
He did wait till it's all over. I mean... This time, it really is all over, isn't it? Defendant. Yes, Your Honor. Although you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body in the crime scene is a serious offense in itself. I understand, Your Honor. Mr. Armando explained that to me very carefully. I knew the risk and was willingly cooperated anyway. Very well. Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to say? Well, there is one thing. I'd like to say something to Mr. Wright. I want to apologize to you. Apologize? To me? For what? For the case 6 years ago. Of course. I just remembered. Weren't you poisoned by your own lover? Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. Even now, 6 years later, I can hardly believe it. She was going to do it. She was planning to kill me. It's not all that surprising. The two of you hardly knew each other. Huh? What do you mean? You and sister, you only met twice. Huh? Huh. We only met twice. The first time you met was on that fateful day. The day she poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courthouse. The next time you met her was 6 months later. You met her again on the day that she stole your cold medicine. And 𝙬╗ was killed. No way! It can't be true. I mean, during our whole relationship, we were... For those 6 months, the woman that you thought was Dahlia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister. Huh? It wasn't Dahlia. I hope one day you can forgive me, Feeny. You mean... That's right. I lied to you for 6 months. Ah! But why? Why would you do such a thing? Ever since she gave you the bottle that day, my sister was trying to get it back as soon as she possibly could. Because of the police investigation and their surveillance, she couldn't move about freely. So that's why you... My sister, from the beginning, she was prepared for the worst. Prepared for the worst. She thought that you might somehow discover the truth. That's why she was always ready to deal with you at the moment's notice. You mean she was ready to kill me, don't you? Oh, poor boy. She already had so much to answer for. I didn't want her... You came to get the bottle pendant back from me in her place. But I couldn't get you to give it back. I failed at something even as simple as that. 6 months passed and I still couldn't get back from you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer. She didn't consult me about her plans for you that day. It was the first time that had ever happened. That was a bit strange, wasn't it? Up until that day, you two were partners in crime and she would confer with you. I think she must have noticed. Noticed what? My feelings for you. If I'd found out she was planning to kill you, I would have done whatever was necessary to stop her, even if it meant her life. Or mine. Iris! Just spending half a year by your side, my feelings toward you, they changed. I have something to say to you, too. Yes? You really are the person I always thought you were. Even after Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, I still believed in you. Aww. Thank you.
Did she just cry?
Yes!
Her sad face and you saw a tear go down her face.
And it made me want to cry. How many cups of darkness have I drank over the years? Even I don't know. I'll tell you though. Right now, this one here is the greatest cup I think I've ever had. Don't you think so? Phoenix, right? Yeah, I think you're right. The purpose of this trial was to rule on the murder of the victim, at least 𝙁𝙁. At some point, I expect you will be tried for your role as an accomplice in this case. I understand, Your Honor. Very well. On the charge of murder, I hereby find the defendant
Not guilty.
Duh! Court is now adjourned.
Yay!
But we're not done yet, guys. I'm gonna let the credits roll. And we get to the credits, and you know, you guys can watch those, and I'll try to be quiet, but I'll probably talk about a lot of stuff. So, you know.
Scroll down.
I'm scrolling, hang on. Sorry. I was reading something. So I guess it's all over. The way everything ended. Was justice really served? The man who risked his life to save Maya is being sent to prison by my own hand. Of course justice was served. Mia! I'm proud of you, Phoenix. Your defense was truly brilliant. But I couldn't save Mr. Armando, the man who cared so deeply for you. You're wrong, Phoenix. You did save Diego. You saved him in the only way possible. You mean, with that verdict? I think one day you'll understand, too. Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing. You were as good out there today as any defense lawyer could ever hope to be. There's nothing more you can learn from me. Mia, you've accomplished something I wasn't able to. I owe you a great deal. Thank you. Mia, I'm sure we'll meet again. Someday, Phoenix. And that was the last time you ever see her! Ever! Not even in the next not even in the last trilogy. Not even in... I want to see her come back. And it's Attorney 7. I know it's going to be difficult, but I want her to come back. I want her to come back.
I don't know who they're bringing back.
I mean, there's a lot of characters I want them to bring back, but...
We might bring Franziska back. She might look a little bit different.
That's one thing I'm demanding Capcom. I mean...
They do fan service, you know.
Yeah, but they only showed Francisco once in this game. Once. And that was this case. After that, she just disappeared from the planet.
Oh,
I mean, let me finish this first. We talk about this in the credits. I've handled lots of cases and seen a lot of things. And along this journey, I found myself asking just one question. What does it really mean to defend someone? I suppose today's case produced one possible answer.
Nick.
Maya,
I guess it's just like my sis said.
your sister, Mia.
That night, when I channeled Mia to get her advice on what to do, this is what she wrote back on my notebook. In my notebook, don't worry, Phoenix will save everyone in the end.
But...
Come on! Cut out with that gloomy face! Can't you see me, sis? I'm sure Iris too. We owe you one. We owe you for everything you have done for us, Nick. I gotta spit on the screen.
Okay. Maya, how? How can you be so bright and chipper after all that's happened? You were brutally attacked. You even saw your mother murdered. Youch! But Franziska! Still as softy as always, Phoenix, right?
Scream Maya's ouch.
No, it was him. Excellent work, right?
Huh? Mr. Edwards, when did you get back?
Oh, that's right. I guess no one filled her in on that. Edward and Franziska have actually been helping me.
Helping you?
If these two hadn't been there on the first day of the trial, the defense wouldn't have gotten anywhere.
Wow. But where were you, Nick?
I heard he fell into a river and caught a nasty cold, which forced him to sleep all day. Yes, he lay in bed shivering from his fever with Iris's hood pulled over his head.
I want to see that. Oh, ouch. Talk about embarrassing, Nick. You definitely need more training.
You want to see that? It's such an embarrassment, but... Hi, buddy. This is yours.
Anyway, thank you, Mr. Edwards. And you too, Franziska.
I don't suppose. There's room for me in this group hug, is there?
Oh, Larry!
What's with the, longer than usual face? I realized something when I was reborn. I realized that Larry was never of any use to anyone, not even once.
That's not true, right, Nick?
What? You're asking me? Well, Nick, is it true? I've got a place in this world, right? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. I'm gonna go let Shadow out of the room real quick. Hey, Bubbles. Come on.
Don't say that,
I knew it. Everyone would be better off if I were gone for good. No! Oh yeah! Those poor were really good. Isn't that right, Edward? What? Me? Why are you making that face? Huh, Edgy?
Fan service.
No.
I'm kidding.
Oh, well, yes, indeed. I certainly can't say that it's lacking resemblance. Do you really mean it? What about you, Franzi? Did I draw you well, too? Ah! That beauty can't possibly be captured by a mere crayon. Nevertheless, I recognize the effort you put into it, and that's worth something. So then you'll do it? Like you promised? You're going to model for my next picture book? Pansies and flies. Ah! Don't get carried away. Well, how about that? I guess painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at. The painting of Pearl is pretty darn good too, if you ask me. Huh? Now that you mention it, I haven't seen her around. Pearls? Where could she have gone? Normally she would have made a beeline for Maya.
Oh, I'll go look for her. Be right back.
Oh, weren't you? Let's see what you think.
Hey, Pearly.
Right? You seem to be uncharacteristically puzzled.
That's a long word.
Uncharacteristically.
It's a long word, Stu.
Remember that one time I told you? I haven't told you guys the story, but I've told her plenty of times. There was this one time I was working on something for my school in class, and it was like, I think we were doing something in health class when I still had health. And I was listening to the Ace Attorney soundtrack, and it first played Gato's theme, the Fragrance of Dark Coffee, and then right after that it played Turnabout Sister's Ballad. For those of you who don't know, that's Maya's theme, and I cried. I cried that day.
You were not okay that day.
No.
You hid in your room at the end.
I hid in my room and cried. That's what I did.
When we got home, of course.
Yeah. That was my last hour too, so of course I wanted to cry.
It was, yeah,
It's terrible.
sad day.
Anyway, I suspect you are wondering how Maya can be so cheerful despite all that has happened. Yeah. Do I happen to have a paper towel in here or something?
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna use this.
I just spit it out in the trash can.
Don't do that, it'll stick to the bottom. To be honest, I can't understand it either. Franziska. That's right. She lost her father fairly recently as well. I think...
Jerk face.
Give me that. Yeah, everybody's lost somebody. I'm trying to amuse myself. I think I understand how she feels. Maya is a much wiser person than she appears, and I think she realizes something. Now is exactly the time when she needs to be as strong as she can. What do you mean by, now is exactly the time? Maya wasn't the only one that was badly wounded by this incident. In fact, there was someone that was hurt far more deeply than she. I believe it's for the person that Maya is trying her best not to cry. Someone who was hurt more deeply than Maya. Edgeworth. I think I'm starting to understand, too. Ow! Then tell me, Phoenix, right? Who was Maya Faye being strong for? Pearly?
Pearly whirly whirl.
Pearly Whirls. She's only 9.
Jeez.
Pearl Faye. The poor kid. After all, the reason that she worked so hard to follow her instructions was because she loved and believed in her mother, Morgan. It's for the good of the Faye clan. I'm sure she believed in every last word. She thought she was doing it for Maya. That's why she was so happy. It shows how truly devoted she is to Maya. But it's a cruel irony that it was her exuberance that led to this tragedy. Maya Fey's mother was killed, and Maya herself was put into the deepest peril imaginable. And that's exactly why Maya's putting on a brave face. She's doing it for Pearl's sake, until she can see her smile again. Oh, hey! So this is where y'all were. Wow, looks like we got quite the bunch here today. Youch! What was that for, sir? Sorry about that, Scruffy. My whip just seems to have a mind of its own. What's up, Detective Gumshoe? Oh, you know, this and that. Anyway, congrats on your win. Let's go out tonight, pal. Dinner's on me. My salary's just kind of gone down a teeny-meeny bit, but it's alright. I made reservations at a first-class French restaurant tonight. Ah! Pretty good work, Scruffy. That whip is your reward. Detective Gumshoe, you said a first-class French restaurant? You don't mean... Très bien. Where else? I knew it. We're doomed. Come on, let's go, everyone. Can't keep Maggie waiting, pal. Ah!
I think that was more fan service.
No,
That
no,
was cute.
no, you don't understand.
It's canon, I know.
Not really canon, but you know, it's canon that he has a crush on her.
And that was cute.
Ah!
Stop
I'm
screaming.
gonna, no,
Stop screaming.
no.
Your hands are sweaty.
Yeah. Hey, you, crybaby, you're invited too. Oh, forget about me. Pearl and I will be at the Loser's Shack eating potatoes. You know, Maya's taken an awfully long time to get back. She's still out looking for pearls. Oh, Maya, what's wrong?
Nick, what do I do? Hurley, I can't find her anywhere.
We just saw her. She was Mia just a few minutes, like a little while ago. Where is she gone to? Huh? I'll bet she just went back home. That's all.
I thought so too, so I called the village. But no one has heard from her. This has never happened before.
Oh, no, I know what's about to happen. I think. As I figured, she has been badly hurt by this incident. Ooh, turn my iPod on. I gotta get a picture at the end of this. You gotta actually turn it on. She feels responsible for the tragedy that has befallen you, Maya. Is it on? Is it turning on? Okay. You. Go. Read your lines.
But none of this was her fault. What should I do?
Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, what is it, pal? Could you guys go on ahead? But what about you? Maya and I we'll join you guys once we find pearls. Listen.
Nick!
Don't worry about us, Detective Gumshoe. We may be a little late, but we'll definitely be there. We have a lot of celebrating to do tonight, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. Yeah, but you're... Ah! Very well, Phoenix Wright. We'll go on ahead. Don't keep us waiting, right? We won't.
But where should we look? Where could have Pearly gone?
Let's go, Maya. There's like one place I can think of that pearls might have gone to.
Hazukura Temple.
Okay, for pearls, I bet this is a very important place. After all, it's where this whole incident started. What's this? You're all back again so soon? Sister Bikini? Sorry, this is you, but... I thought we'd be eating mashed potatoes alone tonight.
So she's here and Pearly is here?
She's in the training hall. Why don't you hurry along and go see her?
Okay!
How'd she get there so fast?
Pearly's not here.
Ah! Maya! The hanging scroll! Whatever. What was it? I don't know. It's better. I guess it's fixed.
Someone cleaned it off.
It's gotta be pearls.
Mystic Maya!
That's cute.
Pearly! Why did you just leave like that? Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya!
The fact that you can transfer between the two of them without confusing them is like perfect.
I swear that I would never trouble the two of you ever again. Because it's all my fault that Mystic Maya's mother.
That's why you came here.
It's the least I could do to pray for your happiness. You don't have to do that, Pearly. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Of course, I'm sad that my mother is gone. But how do I say this? I'm still happy. You don't have to lie just to make me feel better. No, really. It's true. The only reason that I'm still here at all is thanks to everyone who was there for me. My sis, my mother, Mr. Armando, Nick, and you. If even one of you weren't there, I'm sure I wouldn't still be alive right now.
Why'd that take you so long to figure out?
Sorry.
That's why I had to be strong.
For all the people that were there for me when I needed them, that's all I can really do. Mystic Maya!
I'm impressed. You truly are the daughter of Mystic Misty. Go.
Sister Bikini.
Your mother, Mystic Misty, was a strong woman indeed. I want to tell you what she said to me that night. After dishonoring the good name of Curain, I don't have the right to face my daughter. But still, Maya is always in my thoughts. It's true, she'll always be with me until the day I die. Your spirit was with her. That's why your mother was so strong. Even at the end, I'm sure she had no regrets. She'll always be with me until the day I die, huh?
Mm-hmm.
There's a rule or something all masters are to follow, isn't there? To never take the charm off until the day you die.
That's the master's
Talisman, but whatever. The thing that Misty kept by her heart and would never take off. It wasn't the container that was important. Rather, it was the contents. That's...
A photo. Mother? I think I did.
Whatever. It's only natural for living creatures to fight to protect their own lives. But what makes us human is that we fight for others. Sorry, I'm dating pictures. Don't mind me. But who do you fight for? How hard must you fight? That's the true measure of what human life is worth. We defense attorneys are warriors who are constantly challenged by that question. And this one too. I'll let you guys see it though. Even when the battle is over and the bonds that connect us are severed, we always return, time and time again. Mia, Maya, Pearls, Mr. Armando. And Maya's mother, too. I learned that from all of them. Sorry, I keep leaving the screen, but I can't help it. I'm taking pictures right now. Look at them. That was so cute. I gotta text these to myself. Hopefully they'll send. Well, shall we be going? Everyone is waiting. I'm gonna send. I gotta put these on my computer from my iPod and my computer. So I'll email them to myself at some point. This is a day to remember. A day where a lot of things were finally put to rest. I think we should. Whatever. That's that.
But I still can't.
Oh, come on, sweetie. One of those got really messed up. Oh well, it got really blurry, but whatever. You can come back for training anytime.
Okay.
It was better send.
All right. I'm going to make a brand new start too. Sister Bikini, I'll be back for more training. I promise.
I know, and I won't go easy on you just because you're the future master. I'll make sure to prepare reservations for three for when you come back. Wow!
All right. We're going to have a great feast today, Pearly. You know why? Because training is a battle of endurance. Okay, Mystic Maya.
Ow.
I'll eat lots and lots of food tonight.
You know, there's one thing I don't get, and probably don't want to, but
What is it, Nick?
Reservations for training is fine and all, but why for 3?
Come on. What do you think? You're one of us, Nick. Next time you can train right alongside us.
Huh? I'll be waiting for you. Sister Bikini will take special care of you. Huh? Huh?
It'll be great, Nick. We're going to do the special course naturally.
Huh? Huh? Huh?
That's a great idea after all, Mr. Nick. You'd do anything for Mr. Maya, wouldn't you? Even work on hot goals, right? We'll have a nice big meal before we come next time, right, Nick?
You know, I was wondering if I can just say just one little thing.
Sure, of course you can. Oh, I love this part. Can't wait to hear it.
I'm getting goosebumps too.
Do you notice my voice is cracking?
Well then, here goes nothing. And here are the credits.
Did you hear my voice crack doing
Yes.
Curly's voice? But you were... Wait, you were impressed by me switching between the two without messing them up?
Yes. Why won't the camera focus? Thank you.
You don't have to
So what were we? Yeah, I can't read. It doesn't go. It doesn't go by. It goes by really fast. So what were we gonna talk about?
We were talking about the... I don't remember.
Of course. So I guess I'm gonna talk about my whole thoughts on this. To be fair, the first time I played through this, I didn't really get much of it. I understood the story and everything, but I didn't really get like a lot of the personality and a lot of the stuff that I missed before because I didn't read it out loud. And of course I told you guys while I was doing it that reading it aloud really helps me comprehend it better. And with me reading these things out loud with you guys really helps me understand so much more. And it just helps.
It was fun voicing Curly because her voice is like this and it's so squeaky. Did you hear my voice?
What a good girl!
Maggie is cool.
What
Did you do a voice for Maggie?
I didn't voice her. She wasn't in this case. I only do some cases. I'll eventually do, not this case, I hate that case. I might
Not Trey
do,
Brand, not the Trey Brand.
I don't like that case, but I might do,
You might do the stolen turnabout.
yeah, but she wasn't in that one. I could probably do the first case in, the second game.
It's Richard Wellington.
Yeah. What another good girl right there!
Did you voice her?
No, I didn't do that one either. But
Bridge was fun.
I did, I played Farewell, but I didn't voice it, I don't think. Anyway, let me know what you guys want to see next. I'm going to work on some thumbnails for these next. And
Run!
called The Mass Consulting. We're dedicated to stopping the evil plans of all the criminals in the city. Okay, I thought that wasn't what it was. Our motto is, cut it out, please! They're pretty cute, huh? I want Desiree. Aw, poor baby.
And this cuteness.
No. I think you guys know who these personas are by now, but if you don't, it's okay. I think I have a lot of these dogs with these personas, but I don't have them all.
Ow. I'm okay.
But
Oh,
I was gonna say something else and I totally forgot. But let me know what you guys want to see next, like for Ace Attorney. There's a lot of cases. I would totally play Dual Destinies for you guys, but I'm still working on finishing that one, and I haven't played Spirit of Justice at all.
So don't
So
ask.
I could probably live me playing all of Spirit of Justice, but that would be a lot of, and I wouldn't be able to play as much because of school year. But I feel like this will be probably the last Ace Attorney stream for a little while. I'm gonna do a couple of Nintendog streams, of course, and while I figure out which case on the first game I'm gonna do. So you guys are welcome that I'm stopping here for now. I just want to let this kind of sink in, kind of, you guys understand the story and everything and all of that fun stuff, you know. But this will be the last Ace Attorney stream I do for a little while, and I apologize for that if you were enjoying them, but I just need to take a break. I'm going to focus on myself and on my other games as well, which would probably be their Ace Attorney games as well. I do have a ton of games I've been meaning on. Oh my god. But, yeah. I think I have like 2 I could do, but I'd like to talk to you guys about it in yesterday's stream if you guys want to see. Yesterday's stream was also kind of loud, and I apologize for that. You probably already watched it too if you're watching this in order.
Gotta watch it in order to understand better.
Huh?
Gotta watch it in order to understand.
Right. But even, you don't have to watch the cases in order. As long as you watch the one case in order, you're fine.
This particular case.
Yeah, and the other cases as well. But you can watch this case and then go watch the end of Farewell that I finished. Or you could go, after watching that, you could go watch Turnabout Beginnings. But to be fair, if I were to tell you guys what order to watch these in, I would say, watch them in the order I streamed them. Because if you're going to watch Turnabout Beginnings goes into this. And it really helps when you understand the storyline. Like, Turnabout Beginnings. Ooh, yeah. Turnabout Reminiscence would be before Turnabout Beginnings. And then Turnabout Beginnings moves. That storyline kind of goes along with Bridge to the Turnabout. Oh, there's my girl! I love her! I've cosplayed her before, and I told you guys this a couple of days ago. And I'm sad. I actually have a replica from Magatama. Oh, but there's the man himself. I wonder who else his voice actor did. I want to look it up now. There's my other girl! Sorry, I'm being stupid.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Janet. Go die in a hole, you. I still don't like him.
Never.
I mean, he's irritating, but it's only his voice that's irritating. Oh my god.
I hate her. Burning passion. Hate you, old bag. He talks so fast. God.
Shoot, who is the guy that voiced him? I don't know, I'm just gonna go to Ace Attorney right now. I'm just gonna go Ace Attorney behind the voice actors. Let's see, we'll go...
Scroll down.
Go here, go here. Ooh. You? No, wrong one. My bad. 2007. You. I want you. What else did he... Wow, really? Oops. Almost the same exact color as him. Not that's bad. Really? He only did 2? Well, that's depressing.
What about the Japanese one?
Hideki Kamiya. Let's see.
Well, he'll have a lot more because he's Japanese.
No, he only has 4.
What?
He only has 4. This part's the best part. There's that, and then there's that at the bottom. I won't be able to screen cap this as I'll lose it, but I have it. I can get it on my computer later. Thanks, yeah. I can download it, and I can do that right now, but I think it's on Melissa's. And with that, everyone, I want to thank you.
Done.
We're completed, yeah. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me in this freaking whirlwind of a case that I love with all of my heart. And I probably will always will. It's always going to have some sort of special meaning to me. I don't know why, but it's just, I don't know. For those of you who don't know, Trials and Tribulations is my favorite Ace Attorney game. Although Hollow Justice Ace Attorney does come to a close second, but I still can't play that because somebody hasn't finished it yet. But once I do get Snowy, I keep trying to call her by her real name, and I know she doesn't care, but I'm trying to call her by her nickname. It's just out of habit, sorry. But once Snowy finishes it, I will probably try to live stream that at some point, and I will be so more than happy to because, I mean, Trucy's in it, and Trucy's best girl, so, yeah. Well, one of my best girls, and before you ask, I'm voicing her, don't test me. And of course, Paulo as well, and I love Paulo, and of course...
And who would I voice?
Whoever you wanted to.
Who's...
I wouldn't care. And of course, Clavier would be in it as well because Clavier's a good boy too.
Yeah.
But that all depends on what case you guys want to do because the cases can vary.
If it's Turnabout Serenade, we're down.
I mean, Turnabout Serenade's cool. Turnabout Succession is my favorite, but again, that's another really long case, and I'd have to do a shorter one first. I mean, I might do Turnabout Corner. Turnabout Corner is great too.
It's short.
It's short, kind of.
Very
I mean, I could play Turnabout Trump, but
don't really care.
I don't really
about
want
that
to.
one.
I'm honestly thinking about the games I'm gonna play for the first one. And I might just play the first Turnabout just because I don't need a walkthrough for it. Because I can play it without a walkthrough.
Everyone hates Mr. Saw It.
More like Mr. Did It. Anyway, we're gonna cut it off here. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is almost a 2-hour stream, but it was so worth it. The past couple of days have been almost 2 hours. Just so you know, if you're here watching this one first, if you want to watch the rest of it, you're gonna need basically a whole entire day. Today's stream brings it up to about 11 to 12 hours. So have your popcorn ready. And again, I thank you, and I will see you all. Probably not on Sunday, because I was going to have a video uploading Sunday, but I'm probably going up north this weekend, so I don't think I'll be able to upload it Sunday. So I'll see you guys on Tuesday with the Doghouse 9. Goodbye!